There you go. Doing really well. We are now joined by Alex Bowman, driver of that number 88 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. We're going to go straight to questions, and Jeff Gluck. Go ahead with the question, Jeff.
Hey, Alex, I'm wondering, aside from yourself, who do you think is sort of a dark horse or a surprise driver that could make a run in these playoffs?
That's a good question. I wish you would have left out the aside from myself, but honestly, I think William Byron, just coming off a win, could be really strong. I feel like as a team, everybody at HMS has picked up lately and been faster, been having some good runs. So I think any of the HMS cars can be really strong. I don't think anybody considers Chase Elliott a dark horse. So if I can't pick myself, I'll go with William.
Thank you.
Our next question will go to Dustin Long. Go ahead with your question, Dustin.
Thank you. Alex, can you explain how the challenge of maximizing rolling time on pit road for you guys, and do without a speeding penalty? I don't think you haven't had a speeding penalty this year, and just how you've been able to manage that. Me. And just how you've been able to manage that. Is there a true skill or skill there, or is it just rudimentary and just being able to look at what lights tell you to do?
Yeah, it's pretty rudimentary as far as being able to look at what lights tell you to do. There's a lot of different settings that you can do with your dash, and how you choose to react to what the lights are saying. It's not like a cup car doesn't drive smoothly at those speeds, and the pit roads aren't perfectly smooth, and the lights jump around a lot. Basically, like if you want the lights accurate, they jump around a lot. If you make them not jump around, they're not very accurate. So just finding what works for you as a driver in that sense is really important. But also, like, curved pit roads throw another element in, segments throw another element in. It's all really based off time. It's not really based off mile per hour. So sometimes tracks will have one fast segment you're not really speeding up. The segment's technically just wrong, but everybody's got to deal with it. So there's a lot of factors to it. It's really tough on a busy pit road, trying not to run into people, trying to hit your pit box well. It's definitely important, but it's a big risk versus reward. Like if you have a green flag speeding penalty, it's a huge deficit for the rest of your day, especially at a speedway race. So there are times to push and times not to push, for sure.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Chase Wilhelm. Go ahead with the question, Chase.
Hey, Alex. So the summer months weren't very good to you, but you actually are coming off a top 5 in the top 10 at Dover and Daytona. So where do you feel like the 88 team stands right now amongst? What are your thoughts on Darlington, considering you finished second there in the first race this year?
Yeah, I lost you kind of for the middle part of what you said, but I think I got the gist of it. Yeah, you're right. The summer was pretty rough on us. We started the season really strong. Come back from COVID, we were still really strong, and then fell off really hard for the summer. So, trying to identify why that happened, what we did wrong, and how to getting better over the last couple weeks, especially. So I think we're in a good place going into the playoffs. Darlington, for us, we were really fast there. The first 2 races this year. First race, we finished second. Second race, we had a way better race car, and I started racing my competitors instead of the racetrack and hit the fence. So that's on me to not do this time, but I think we can be really strong, have a really good day, and I think each and every week during the playoffs we're going to be really good, but Darlington's one that we've had circled that we can be really strong at, for sure.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. Our next question will come from Lee Spencer. Go ahead with your question, Lee.
Alex, just kind of curious, looking at the 3 of you being in and Jimmie not being in, is Jimmie going to continue to work his job as a driver coach to try to get you guys the best opportunity for one of the Hendrick cars to win a championship?
Yeah, I think so. Jimmie's an open book. We all know the person that he is, the type of person that he is, and how much of a help he is to really anybody that asks him, he's willing to help. So very appreciative to have him to lean on and to be able to learn from him. There's nobody that has gone through probably this playoff situation and succeeded in it as much as him. So hopefully we can learn from him. We all want to see him go out on top and win races. I don't think there's a driver in the field that doesn't want to see him win races before he completes his last full-time season, whatever you want to call that. But the R word, but it's really cool to be able to lean on him and to learn from him, regardless of the playoff situation. Just really thankful to have him as a teammate.
Appreciate your time. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Mark Garrow. Go ahead with your question, Mark.
Thank you, Alex. Each one of these rounds has a really tough cutoff race. It is a wild card. Just what are your thoughts about the round one cutoff at Bristol?
Yeah, I think Bristol's pretty unique just with how much the racetrack changes, the VHT, how that affects it, and how hard it is to pass. I mean, you can be way faster than a guy and still not be able to pull off a pass. And with the way the bumpers line up these days and the race cars drive in traffic, it's just as hard to move somebody else out of the way as it is to pass. So just trying to have a good race car there. Obviously our day got cut really short there in the spring. Not really knowing how the race is going to go and having great notes to lean on, but our teammates were really strong. So being able to lean on their notes will be good, but it's definitely a wild card for sure.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from John Newby. Go ahead with the question, John.
Hey, Alex, thanks for joining us today. Just a quick question for you. You're starting up front on the second row next to William behind Chase. I know it's a longer race, but how critical is it to get to the front to that clean air since your car is suited to long runs?
Yeah, it's hard to say. We don't really know if our car is going to be suited to long runs or not until we get there. I feel like each week's a little bit different, and the end of some of the long runs at Darlington in May, we were definitely falling off harder than we wanted to be, but we were really fast on the short runs. So I think that is a racetrack that you really just have to race the track. Kind of like I said before, the second race I got caught up racing somebody else and drove it right into the fence, did a really bad job. So we just need to race the racetrack and be there at the end. It's such a long day. That's a really long 500 miles, and being there at the end with a clean race car is super crucial.
Perfect, thanks.
Our next question will come from Cole Cusimano. Go ahead with the question, Cole.
Thanks, Matt. Hey, Alex. As an Arizona boy, what was your reaction when hearing the championship was going to be held at Phoenix, and what would it mean to you to make the championship 4 at your home track?
It'd mean the world to me to make the championship 4 and try to win a championship in Arizona. That'd be really special. That racetrack is kind of a love-hate relationship with me. Obviously, we've had some strong runs there in the past, but the last couple of years have been pretty awful there. We haven't had a good day there, period, really since 2016. So we've got our work cut out for us to improve that program of ours and try to go be stronger there. But I think it's really cool. It's a cool atmosphere. The fans there are awesome. The campground there is awesome. I feel like it's kind of an underrated atmosphere as far as the racetracks go. So just excited to get there and happy for them to be hosting the Final Four.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Jordan Bianchi. Go ahead with the question, Jordan.
Alex, there's speculation out there that maybe you're a candidate to take over the 48 for Jimmie Johnson. Wondering if you've had those conversations and that speculation is accurate.
Man, I don't know. I have no clue. Nobody's talked to me. I'm just here to drive the race car. I'm focused on Darlington and going to Darlington to go try to win. And as far as I know, I'm driving the 88 car. That's what I'm focused on doing.
Thank you very much.
Our next question will go to Kathy Brown. Go ahead with your question, Kathy. Kathy? Going once, going twice. We're going to go on to Luis Torres. Go ahead with your question, Luis.
Hey, Alex. So, in this time period with like no practice and of course dealing with the pandemic, how have you kept yourself upbeat in this time period? And with the playoffs starting in Darlington, you guys are going there for the third time. What key will it take to get that win? I know you were battling in that first one with Harvick back in May.
Yeah, so I think everybody that's been around me kind of knows that staying upbeat kind of for me is a little tough when things aren't going well, and the summer was rough on us for sure, but good runs for me cures that, and running up front and contending for wins. So just trying to run the best we can, and we've had some good runs here lately. When things are going well, it's pretty easy for me to stay upbeat, and we definitely miss the fans, and the pandemic has changed a lot of things for us, but it's pretty awesome that we're kind of back on schedule with the way the season is. And going to Darlington, just being there at the end with a clean race car is going to be crucial to trying to win that race. The first race there in May, we really weren't very happy with our race car, and we were still really fast. So second race, we were much better and had to start in the back, and drove to the front way quicker than the other people that started as far back as we did, and just got greedy and hit the wall. So can't be greedy. You got to race the racetrack and be there at the end.
Our next question will come from Kelly Crandall. Go ahead with your question, Kelly.
Thank you. Alex, going back to you keep talking about the summer months and things kind of got off track. Was it just something where the speed just disappeared? Were you guys trying anything? Kind of how would you explain basically coming out of the gate at the beginning of the year like gangbusters, and then all of a sudden it just slowly started to go away?
Yeah, I think for us, the tracks we went to, the tire that we were on, and the weather really affected us more than we anticipated. Our race car just was really unhappy when it got hot and slick through the summer months, and the speed was gone. We went to the racetracks that we thought we were going to go and dominate at, like Homestead, Kansas, places that we thought we would be awesome at, especially with how we started the year at Vegas and Fontana and Charlotte and Darlington. And we were terrible, struggled. Kansas, I think we finished 8th or something, but we ran 25th all day, and it was all I could do not to crash for the majority of the race. We were so loose. So just, I don't think we were trying anything. If we were, they didn't tell me. I wish we were. I wish we could just point and be like, yeah, we were trying stuff. It's all good. We'll be fine. But we definitely kind of missed it there for 2 months or so. And I'm really thankful that we were able to not lose our heads. The team was able to continue to work together really well and keep a level head and turn it around. The last couple weeks have been much better to us. Dover, we got damaged the first race, but the second race, we had a really great race car, and it was a backup car. So, to be that strong with a backup car was really good. And I think we were pointed in the right direction to start the playoffs for sure.
Thank you.
Our next question will come from Marty Sakala. Go ahead with your question, Marty.
Thank you, Matt. You got it right this time. Awesome.
There you go.
Hope you're doing well, Alex. I apologize if you already answered this. I joined in late on your press conference, but last year we saw you with a lot of potential at the 1.5 mile tracks. Do you think this will be your strength once we get to those tracks in the round of 12?
Yeah, I feel like as a company, the 1.5 miles have been our strong suit. As long as I've been driving for HMS, especially last year. We went on a run there and we're really strong at all the 1.5 miles. And this year we started and continued to be strong at the intermediate tracks. So we were definitely off a little bit through the summer at those racetracks, but I think those are probably our strong suits going into the playoffs for sure.
Thank you, Alex. Good luck to you this weekend.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Rebecca Cottingham. Go ahead with your question, Rebecca.
Hey Alex, this is Rebecca Cottingham with Legacy Makers Sports Network. We kind of talked to Ford and Penske teammates yesterday. Does HMS have a policy on how they're going to handle such tracks as Talladega going into the chase?
I don't think we really have a policy. I think we've all seen the manufacturers work together over the last couple of years at those racetracks. I feel like Ford kind of did it first, and then we did a really good job of it with Chevrolet, and now it's interesting to see how everybody tries to kind of one up each other with how they can play the race out and work together. And it's just really like you can't not work together as a team at this point, as well as everybody's working together and as much communication as there is. So we're going to do all we can to go there and win as a team, and we've had success at it. Obviously, William just won in Daytona, so just trying to go there and get all of our cars up front. That's the goal, and we got to work together to do that.
Thank you, and best of luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Our next question will come from Kelvin Lapierre. Go ahead with your question, Kelvin.
Thanks, Matt. Thanks to Alex for taking time out today. Just a question on with no qualifying and how NASCAR is really setting up these playoffs where the top 16 in the first round get set together, and that way it doesn't really mess you up going forward. And then the choose rule. What are your expectations with that? And as far as not being taken out by a non-playoff driver like we've seen in the past?
Yeah. So to start qualifying, I mean, I'm all good with the format and the way everything goes. We're starting pretty close to the front this weekend, so it's hard for me to complain. But yeah, I mean, I think they have a good way of doing it. And the random draw, I started the same spot like 5 weeks in a row or 4 weeks in a row or something. So it was funny how that all worked out, because it was a random draw, but man, it was interesting. So I'm a fan of the formula that they're using. I think it's working really good. The choose deal, it's simple when you're up front. The farther back you get, the harder it gets, and the more confusing it gets. Trying to count cars gets pretty complicated, and it's really hard to see. From the race car, the box is hard to see and it's hard to count. So just staying on top of that is critical. Making the right decisions in that is critical. My spotter's terrible at math, so I can't lean on him because he always gets the count wrong. But it's definitely added a new element to it. And then everybody's there to race and win races, so it's easy to get into it with a non-playoff guy. But hopefully we avoid that and have a good, clean playoffs.
Thanks, Alex. Good luck this weekend.
Thanks.
Our next question will go to Kathy Brown. Try again, Kathy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yep.
I took myself off mute. Alex, given the playoffs in the COVID-19 world that we're in this year, you guys are going to be coming the furthest west when you come to Vegas and Phoenix. Is there any special or additional precautions you're going to take given the fact that you're coming so far west?
I don't know. I'm sure there will be. I just don't know what they are at the moment. Hendrick Motorsports has done a really good job of laying out things for us and trying to help us, as well as NASCAR. NASCAR's done an awesome job at having recommendations and kind of laying out guidelines for everybody. So, I would kind of assume that there will be differences. I feel like every week's a little bit different with how regulations are working, depending on where we're going in the country. So I'm sure it'll be a little different, but that's kind of normal. Each and every week's been different.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.